Okay, so we're halfway to Halloween, which is great news, or it would be more significant if I didn't try and live sort of like a moderate level of spookiness like year round. But anyway, Megan and Sue, the Spine Breakers, are hosting their annual Halfoween-athon, and it's in the first week of May. I'm obviously going to participate. I'm semi-participating now by half-assing a Halloween costume, by which I'm wearing a wig, and this isn't really a costume, I'm just wearing a cheap wig. Halfoween. So anyway, I'll put a link to their announcement video in the description, but for the purposes of this video, there are 5 prompts, because it's a TBR video. So first prompt is to read a horror book and then watch the movie adaptation. For this, there is a group read/watch. I believe it's not actually been decided for sure. I need to check Twitter to see what's going on with that. But the 2 books/films that were up for the vote were The Exorcist by William Peter Blatty and I Know What You Did Last Summer by Lois Duncan. So I'll be reading whichever one of those becomes the group read. I hope that the group watch is at a compatible time to my time zone because Australia. For horror graphic novel, I'll be reading the next volume I'm up to in the Promised Neverland manga, which is volume 10 Rematch. It's been a few months since I read volume 9 and I have a completely crap memory, but I'm hoping it'll all come back to me once I'm reading. This series is about a bunch of kids in an orphanage. They seem pretty content at the beginning, but then some of the older kids start to notice odd things, like what really happens to kids after they're adopted out, because this is horror. It has some fun adventure vibes too, but I can't stress this enough. If you're like, oh, I love boarding school, found family type stories, it is definitely horror. So there's that. To read a book with dark or night in the title, I'm going to read Nightshift by Kiare Ladner. I don't believe this is horror. It's more like dark, suspenseful literary fiction. It's about a woman who starts working the same night shifts as an enigmatic woman that she's become obsessed with. Shift work really fucks with your equilibrium, and it sounds like this has one of my problematic favorite tropes, which is obsessive female friendship. It also sounds like it might be queer, and I will get back to you on that when I have read it. For a book set in a haunted house, I'm going to read Star of Acre by Andrew Michael Hurley. This is about a couple and their son who are living in a house by the moors. Their house is called Star of Acre, so I don't really understand how they didn't get that they're in the setup for a folk horror story. Anyway, their 5-year-old kid dies and then seems to be haunting their spooky house, and they seek help from a seemingly benevolent group of occultists. I'm sure that will be fine. And finally, for Read a Creature feature, I'm going to be kind to myself since this is only a week-long readathon and read a short story. I like to keep an eye on the Amazon original short story collections, and I've been really keen to find space in my TBR for stories from the Trespass collection because it seems to be themed around nature horror and the tension between the natural world and animals and humans. And it's basically all authors I love, like Stephen Graham Jones. So I'm going to read the story The Backbone of the World, which is about a woman waging war with an oddly relentless prairie dog colony. So that combined with the fact that in the description it mentions something about Lovecraftian horrors, I think this is going to have the creature feature prompt covered. Anyway, stay tuned for my May TBR for the rest of the month. Maybe. Actually, don't stay tuned. I can't guarantee how long it'll take me, and you've got other shit to do, I bet. I have no idea how long you'll have to wait. I'm trying. Anyway, bye.